We're excited about tonight. We get to be able to just brag up a little bit on what God has done. And really, I know Pastor took a second to brag on us there, but really, this was God's doing from beginning to end. And he brought in some staff, some people that worked with us that love your kids, that love serving, playing, having a good time, being a blessing. They were there from beginning to end. We had people that were there financially supporting, bringing through. We're going to get into all the testimony, the breakdown of what God did. But to start it all off, to get you your idea of what we did, to get some pictures in your head, we're going to watch a video that's going to be about 13-minute video. So hold on to your kids, hold on. But just to get everybody involved and excited, and those kids that are out there in the crowd, to get your attention too. This is how we do it in Children's Church. Those of you that are on your best behavior, we have treats at the end. So make sure you're behaving well so that we can bless those that are being well behaved. Go ahead, Justin, will you start that up for us?
no sleeper, here's the day. God is shining His light so we will know the way. Time to stand, time to shout, salvation's here. God is piercing the dark, our future's clear. We've come alive, we've come alive. You have awakened us like the rising sun. In you we rise, so we lift our eyes. You have awakened us like the rising sun. Hey! Come and see, for He has done great things. God is flooding the earth with a holy melody. Time to sing, time to shout, salvation song. For the whole universe will sing along. We've come alive, we've come alive. You have awakened us like the rising sun. In you we rise, so we lift our eyes. You have awakened us like the rising sun. You sent your son down and set me free. Everything of this world will fade. I'm pressing on till I see your face. I will live that your will be done. I won't stop till your kingdom come. 'Cause you are my freedom. We lift you higher, lift you higher. Your love, your love, your love, never ending. Oh, oh, oh. You are alive in us. Nothing can take your place. You are all we need. Your love has set us free. Oh, oh, oh.
Was there more? Awesome. Thank you, Steve, for putting that together for us. That was probably only half to a quarter of the pictures that was taking throughout the camp. I had cut it down considerably before I sent it over to Steve, and then Steve got it. He says, dude, you still have like 480 pictures you want on this video tonight. I said, well, that's a lot less than where we started out. We had 1,200 on one day alone of pictures. But we had so many great shots, so many opportunities, so many great times that were going on. Every kid that had a smiling face or an excited look or something going on was just snapping another picture, snapping a picture of this activity, that activity. Every time they were doing something, I wanted to make sure I captured it, brought it back so you can share a piece of it with you. And that was just a small piece of the puzzle. We had some videos, but due to camera operator malfunction, I wasn't able to get any of those into your video tonight. But we're here. We're excited. Wasn't that an awesome video? We are ready for celebrating a little bit about what camp was about. And for those of you that don't know, tonight, basically we are going to celebrate and take a look at the reason behind the camp and reasons behind all the work that we had to do for camp. We're going to take a look at a little bit of an inventory as to what it was we did and was it really worth it. Because ultimately, each one of you is going to be taking a little personal inventory as to whether or not you're willing to invest in this in years to come. So tonight you're listening to kind of get an idea as to, is it really worth going to camp? Is it really worth doing all the things? If you just look at the happy, fuzzy, warm, fuzzy video up there, that all looks great. Sure, that seems simple. But if you don't realize that everything that went into doing that, you may not be making a fair judgment. So we're going to get honest. We're going to be open, and we're going to talk just a minute or two about the cost of camp, because it is expensive. To do a camp of this level, to do a camp of this style, first of all, we need to have, what is it? Audacious, big, hairy. Thank you. BHAGs. You got to have a BHAG. Because we have to commit financially in advance, and in this case, over a year in advance, because last year we had put down a deposit, but with our building construction, as Pastor said, we thought it best to hold it back a year. So this year, we had our deposit already down. We had our faith and belief that we wanted to bring a large group of kids to bless them at camp. So we had to make a commitment back somewhere around January. We make a commitment and it cost $200 per kid to go to this camp. Per kid, per counselor, per worker. No matter what you were doing, if you were eating or sleeping in a bed, it was $200. That's all the camp breaks it down. And we had to do like an 80-bed commitment. Now, for those of you that are not as quick at math, that's a $16,000, thank you, commitment right off the start. That's a big, hairy, audacious goal. Somewhere not in that order, but it's a BHAG. All right. It's a lot of work to do camp. We had to do fundraisers. We had to do camp worker fundraisers, camper fundraisers. We had to do an auction that we'd never done before and didn't really know how to do, to be honest with you. And we had to make plans. We made phone calls. We held meetings. We scheduled events for months out in order to make this happen. And we had, so camp is expensive, it's a lot of work, and it's stressful. A little bit. We're being honest up front, okay? So it's stressful. Not only did we have to find a way to pay for the camp, so the financial stress, but we also had to find a way to get all the campers signed up, and then we had to get them there and get them back. And then we had to take care of those campers, take care of their medical needs, their medications, their injuries, keep them from hurting themselves, keep them from hurting others, and basically become their mom for 3 days. That's what our workers signed up for when they became camp counselors, camp leaders. It's stressful. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of effort. It was a lot put into it. So to look at the list, you'd think, wow, yeah, maybe it's not good for the 15-minute camera roll of pictures for what camp's all about. Maybe that pendulum swinging a little higher to the other side. But the reality is that although there's no doubt that camp is a lot of work, the question is whether it's worth it or not. See, right now I'm reading a book called The 7 Practices of Effective Ministry. And in part, it talks about measuring your efforts and finding your wins and being able to keep score as to where your wins are. You know, and it's not like baseball. We don't have a scoreboard at camp that says every time somebody had fun, we go ahead and mark a run, or they made it on base for every time someone was able to have a successful blobbing in the lake. But we have different ways that we can measure our success. So we have to look for different ways. So we look at some different things like, did the kids have fun? Did the workers have fun? Did the supporters support it? Were lives changed? Did God show up? Those are some measurable things that we can look at. So I had to break down and take a look at and think about, okay, how can I report back to you accurately what camp was all about? See, according to the pictures you just saw, you could tell the kids were having fun. The workers were having fun. We had a blast. I had a real serious talk with the guy on the zip line before I ever got on there to test the weight limit and know. I had to have faith in God and the zip line on that day, but he assured me it was all good. So, but when the workers had fun, the kids had fun, we had all kinds of good times. But when it came to the finances, we had many a prayerful night. We had many of concern build up into it. But with our fundraisers, see, God had his hands in this from the start. He gave us opportunities and events, things that we had never done before. We did a sub-sale fundraiser where some of our kids took it and ran with it, and not only paid for their own camp completely, they paid for other kids' camps and put money towards other kids' camps. They added it. Matthew. It was a lot of work, wasn't it, Matthew? That's awesome. We had several other kids that used that sub-sales to take care of their camp fees, to get their share taken care of. And they went out and did the work. And then we had some that did the kids' night out. Kids' night out was something we'd never done before. We thought, $5 a head, we'll watch your kids for you for a few hours, and we'll be able to put that money towards camp. Sounded like a good idea. The first night we tried it, we only advertised within the church. We had nearly 40 people, 40 kids coming. We thought, wow, that was pretty good. We should advertise outside of town. The second time we did it, we advertised at the St. Louis schools. Over half the kids that came were from St. Louis school system, which meant they were paying the door price of $7 a piece. And we had over 80 kids that night. We were blown away. Some of our workers are still scarred from that. But they had a great time. We had over 37. We had an auction that we had never done before. God opened these opportunities, these doors to us. We've never done an auction before. I didn't know how to run an auction. The church has done an auction in the past. Pastor Rick's done an auction in the past. How many years in the past, we don't recall. And when we went for his notes, they didn't exist anymore. We had to try and recreate. So we weren't sure exactly how this auction was going to work. We tried to schedule a date. The first date didn't work out. We rescheduled it for a later date. We tried to get it in just before. Miss Diane worked some dates around to help us out so we could get camp auction before camp, which helps to have the money before you go. That's a good thing. And we ended up getting this auction the Sunday before we were leaving on a Wednesday. The Saturday before. The auction we never did before. They had events. They had a huge auction on the same road, on the same street, down only a mile or so down the road. Cars lined up everywhere, same time. We had everybody on vacation and gone out of town, out of our regular church family. Everybody was gone that week. We had only 37 people walk through the door that signed up as a bidder during our auction. Sweating bullets does not cover what I was feeling before that auction got started. My concern level. And yet God was with us through it, the whole thing. Because in the 37 people that he had, not all of them bid, but 37 people filled out a willing to be a bidder application. We made over $4,000 with 37 people for an auction. There was one lady that I had never seen before, and I have yet not seen since, that she bought everything she could. She left and had her credit card ran for over $1,200 by herself. I said, God will bring in the people that he needs to make it happen. That it was totally God from start to finish on this. So knowing about camp means you need to know about what happened before camp and what brought us to camp. Because the warm, fuzzy pictures were only a part of what went on. So we had a great kids' night out. We had camp. We had so many great things that when we got done with the auction, I was trying to keep track. I was trying to be a good steward, trying to tally everything that somebody made from subs, kids' night out, auction, camp. I was trying to keep track, but not being the actual bank where the money was coming to me all the time. I was doing the best I could, and I was like, on the Sunday before, the day after the auction, I'm looking at my tallies, and I said, we're about $4,000 short of our goal. And I was praying and asking God, it's like, I don't know where all coming from. We had the campers, a lot of campers still had to pay. But I was like, God, I'm going to have to ask Pastor for $4,000 for camp. No one wants to pay $4,000 of a bill that they didn't expect a few days before. We had to have bold faith. We had to believe. And on the following Tuesday, my wife went in and she was at the church, and she had to call me at work to let me know. They sat down, they tallied, they checked the accounts, they balanced every dollar paid and pointed towards camp. And we literally, at the end of their tallying, came down to we owed $93 is where our balance was. Now, before the report could be given, someone else came in with a $150 check that they had to pay Another person came in with a $100 check before the day was over. For the next day was over, we still had a couple of $100 given. We ended up not only paying for camp, but we were even able to get some prizes for camp and some gas for the car to get to camp. God was in it all the way. Now, I say gas for the cars to get to camp. We had planned for months. Some of you may have noticed we sold our bus. It's not out there anymore. If you haven't been paying attention, it's been gone for about a year. But the bus is not there no more. We were trying to figure out how we going to get these kids all over there and get them back. And we worked, and it was coming down. Everything I tried, everything I looked into was just, it was not available, or we were going to have to pay. And when you got a $4,000 bill already, you don't plan on paying more. So I just said, well, we're going to carpool. We'll figure it out. We'll break it out and carpool. We got it all worked out on Sunday at our camper meeting. We're going to carpool. These people can drive. These people need rides. All right, talked to people, made phone calls. We got it all hooked up. And on Tuesday, one of the parents of a kid that's not attending church calls up and said, you guys need vans? I was like, well, yeah, we could use some vans. Well, our school over in Carson City, Christian school over in Carson City, has 2 15-passenger vans. I'm sure if you called the pastor, you could probably get a hold of him. So I call him up, and hey, I know it's last minute. I know it's not a lot of advance notice here, and we're kind of underwire, but I got to call and ask. I'm told you got a couple of vans. Could we use them from Wednesday to Saturday, and would they be available, and if so, how much? He's like, well, yeah, you can use them. I said, okay, you didn't get the how much. Oh, that's free. Go ahead. For no rental, no charge, put gas in it, drive it there, drive it back. 2 free vans the day before we go to camp. Now, I don't know if you're picking up on all this, but God has been in it from the start all the way through. So now we're going to camp. We've got 2 vans, and we're filling up. They say, hey, if you don't want to drive anymore, come to church. We'll carpool. We'll get you there. And some of the people that had drove, that I had called, said, you know what? It's such a nice, beautiful, sunny day. We were planning on going for a ride anyways. We're just going to drive there. They dropped their kids off, and then we were able to bus them back. So it worked out either way. It was a great opportunity for them. So we were hugely blessed. So what the other measurements we were looking at were lives changed. You know, as Christians, one of the first things we look at, one of our measuring tools, were lives changed. Were there any salvations? And I can proudly report that there was 4 kids that we know of for sure that said a salvation prayer and told one of our staff that, yes, I would like to spend an eternity in heaven with Jesus and be part of the family that this church is part of. Yes, at least 4 confirmed. And now you say, what are you talking about confirmed? Those are ones that I know stepped forward and confessed and spoke to one of our counselors and said, yes, I did this. But I know there is other ones that left there with that seed in their heart. I know there was other ones that went back and they may have said that salvation prayer and may not have been bold enough to come tell their counselor or tell their friend, but I know that seed's planted. I know God's nurturing that, and He's bringing that, He's building that, and He's blessing it. 4 salvations alone for me answered our earlier question, is it worth it? Because everything at that point didn't matter. But He didn't stop there. We had tons of testimonies where kids talked about, I'd take a video around and I asked them with their camera, and say, what was your favorite part of camp? And one kid would say, oh, zip line. Zip line was awesome. Oh, I love the dunes. Another one, I love the waterfront. But I had one little girl that doesn't even attend our church. When I asked her, what's your favorite part of camp? She says, my favorite part is prayer time. I said, really? Why is that? Because, it caught me. This was not a suck-up answer. This was not a, hey, I want to be on video answer. This was a, from the heart. She didn't know anything about where it was going, what's going on. She says, this is where the prayer times when I get a chance to meet the rest of the people in my group and make friends and learn about God. That was her response. That was what she had the most fun over zip line, over flying squirrel, over the dunes and the dune rides and all the other extremely fun activities. Her favorite part was getting to make some long-term friendships with some new people and learning about God during the prayer time. Favorite part. Still under the were lives changed question. My last point was on our faith was tested and our faith was strengthened. Not just our kids, but even our counselors, even ourselves as leaders. We had our faith tested when we got over there. From the weather to the finances to the vans to the schedule, there were times where we could sat back down and worried and complained and grumbled, but there was also opportunities where God showed up strong. God was able to take what we were lacking in faith and blow us up. See, our first night kind of opened us up. We walked in, beautiful, sunny, wonderful weather, and we go out and have something to eat after getting checked in, have some little cabin time fun, and we go to the beach, to a lighthouse on the beach. Very off the beaten path, not many people there, but just absolutely gorgeous sand dunes, lighthouse. And the sun's setting, you're watching the sunset on the water, and you're learning about God's creation. And you're got the kids just burying themselves in sand like they're taking a sand bath, rubbing it all over their face and their body. And it's kind of gross, actually. But they were learning an awesome message about God. And one of the great things I love about taking these kids over to Grace Adventures or a camp that's outside of here is they get invested by people that they don't know. They get an investment in their lives by somebody who they don't see every day. And these people have a different message that they haven't heard in our children's church from week to week. And this gentleman that was speaking on God's creation, and he's using illustrations, and he's talking and showing how God shows himself huge in the smallest of animals, the dragonfly, the ant. The power of the messages were awesome. Our chapel time on the beach kicked it off, and it blew us away, but it got even better when we got inside. When we got inside and were able to focus on the Word. You see the one picture of the young man on the beach? Everybody's buried in sand, and he's got his Bible out, following along in the message. I mean, I told the kids that first night, a couple of them had asked me if they wanted to take their Bibles to the beach with them because they brought their Bibles to camp. And I thought, well, it's probably not the best idea to take all these Bibles to the sand and play, and it may not come back really well. So I said, well, tonight you don't have to if you don't want to. And this little guy took his Bible and he followed along with every message. And he was into the Word all the way through it. From start to finish, kids are burying themselves next to him. And he's in the Word the entire time. God was good. He showed up big. And then on day 2, it was overcast. And it was supposed to rain. And we were sitting out facing the weather, looking at our activity schedule, thinking we're going to have to possibly, most likely, change a lot of our activities because we're not going to be able to get all the outdoor activities. It's supposed to rain for like 3 days. All it forecasted was solid. 100% rain, 90% rain, 100% rain. It was every day. It was like, okay, Lord, we're going to need you again here. I know we've already counted on you huge, but these kids are all over here, did all this work, and we want them to be able to have a great time. Lord, just can you help us out with the weather? And I remember on day 2, all of our activities were outside. Everything. And we're looking through the meal, and I've got the guy from Grace Adventures talking about, hey, we can bring some props over, we can do this, we can do some different activities. And I'm like, yeah, it just doesn't sound like that's what we need to do. That's great that we got a backup plan, but it's just not. I really think we need to be able to just go. We just need to do it. And literally, all while we were inside, it's raining, it's just pouring. But when we stepped outside the doors, when we walked over to the dodgeball court for the first outdoor activity, the rain stopped. The rain, now it was still overcast, it was cloudy, it was ugly looking, but the rain stopped. And we got all the dodgeball in. And then we were supposed to go from dodgeball over to playing our Gold Rush. And the Gold Rush is an outdoor field game. It's like Capture the Flag, but it's full on running, playing, outdoor, having fun. And literally from the time we walked from here to here, it started sprinkling on us a little bit. Just like almost a test. Are we going to go through with it? And I stood in the middle of this field with a guy from Grace Adventures talking to me, and he's like, okay, this is what we need to do, and we could go to this plan and stuff. And I just stopped and said, I rebuke the clouds, I rebuke the rain, I stand in Jesus' name, and we tell this storm to pass. And he's looking at me like, okay, well, anyways. I was like, I really want them to play. And so, out loud in front of everybody in the middle of the soccer field, rebuke clouds, even as it's sprinkling and starting to rain a little bit on us, praying and said, okay, now we're going to do it. Let's play. Gave him the rules, the game starts. The rain stops. The rain is hovering over us, around us. It's not coming down. We went from there to outdoor campfire. Every kid got to go to the campfire. Every kid got a s'more. And when the last s'more, down to the very last kid in line, the last s'more was served, the rain started. And it was time to go in the cabins. Because it was the end of our outdoor activity time. It was that obvious that was God. And if you wouldn't believe me, then the very next day we were scheduled for dune rides, and we had to back the dune rides up about 30 minutes just because we wanted to give God plenty of time to do his thing. We were trying to help him out. And the rain stopped. It poured all night long. It rained so hard you could hear just the roof and the eaves troughs sound like someone left a fire hose next to you running. It had so much water coming down. But when it came time for our activities in the morning, the rain stopped. We went and had an awesome time on these dune rides. Kids were riding up and down. They thought it was a roller coaster, throwing their hands up in the air, going up and over the hills. We saw Skydiver Bill that didn't do a very good job with his parachute, legs sticking out. Some of the kids saw an eagle. They got to hear about the dunes and how they were created, and they got a lesson while they were on the dune rides. The entire trip stayed dry. Got back, they zip-lined, they flying squirreled, they did the archery, they did the shooting, they did all kinds of outdoor activities. We went down to the beach, and the sun came out. Now, this has been overcast and cloudy the entire time. We go down to the beach and get down by the water, and they get their swimsuits on, and the sun comes out. And automatically, the temperature change jumps up. And for the first time, we actually had to put on some sunscreen on some of the kids. We had to start chasing them around. We get some sunscreen on. But God was faithful again. All the way through. Even our last day, when we were taking in our last dune trip, hiked up and down. We hiked to the dunes, hiked up and over dunes, and got a bus ride back. And literally, ask them if you don't believe me. The hike back, when we got to the bus, it started raining. God was faithful. God showed up at camp this year. God was there the entire time from the start to finish. He was there, taking us through, doing it for us. All we had to do was come and have a good time. All the worry and all the concern, all meant nothing. God had it in his hands from start to finish. We just had to show up and do our part. Was camp worth it? It was so worth it. I was so blessed. It was so much fun that, if you didn't get a chance to go, you need to start petitioning now to get into children's ministry so you get the first shot at going next year, because it was that much fun. There's going to be a limited amount of seats, there's going to be a limited amount of bunks, and there's going to be a line of people that are going to want to go, because that's where God was at. And all the kids got to see that God went to camp with them. They got to make friends, they got to have fun, they got to do zip lines, but God showed up and went to camp with them. It was obvious every day. Where lives change, I think they were changed big time. So we wanted to give you an opportunity to get a taste. We got some pictures. I got a little testimony. We'd let you know about what camp was all about and what the fun we had. But you got to have a little bit of taste of some of the fun we got to have. So I want all of our campers to come up. All the kids that went to camp with us, I want you up here on the stage with me right now. Come on up. You guys can have a seat right on this back bench right here so the camera can see your nice, pretty faces. All right? I'm going to move this right behind you. All right. And I want all our camp counselors to come on up. Our camp staff, the guys' cabins, come on forward. Mr. Rick, Mr. Sam, Mr. Jeff, come on down. Our ladies, we've got Miss Kim, Miss Peggy, Miss Kristen, and Miss Leah, and our cabin counselors. And then we have, not to forget, our very helpful, would not have made it through camp this year without her, Miss Jamie, our camp nurse. Yeah. Not only was our faith tested, I'm pretty sure that Jamie's patience and faith was tested a couple times. We had one kid that got to come to camp this year, got dropped off first night. Everything was all good. He was acting right. We got up the next morning, and that was a Sam, Rick. Somebody brought him over. Hey, Nurse Jamie, you need to take a look at this guy. He had spots everywhere. I didn't know what happened. We weren't sure what he got into. He had spots everywhere. Nurse Jamie went into action. It was almost like, I need Benadryl stat. I mean, that was maybe not the way it came out, but her eyes, that's exactly the way it looked to me. She needed some better, and that young man didn't have a problem with it at all. He just wanted to stay at camp and have fun. So she got some nursing medical attention, took care of it. I think he actually had some of the spots before he came. But he got cleaned up, isolated. We did his bedding. She was put to the test, and her faith was tested as well and did an awesome job. This young man had a blast all while he was there because he was there with us taking care of him. Otherwise, he would have been a send-home kid. And he was one of our salvations. Thank you. Thank you. Do I have a microphone up here, Jonathan, that the kids can use? I'm going to step right between you guys. All right, tell me real quick, who got a prize for doing something good while we were there? Landon, what'd you get the prize for? Do you remember?
Being brave.
Being brave. This little guy, we had a flying squirrel. And if you didn't get a chance to see the pictures, didn't know what you're looking at, the flying squirrel took him, hooked him to a line, and a whole bunch of kids take off running with that line. And he shoots up about 30 feet in the air. Now, for a little guy, that's a little spooky, isn't it? But Landon stepped up, chose to be brave. We talked about it, we prayed about it, and he tested his strength, and he got up there, did the flying squirrel, awesome, and was able to be a testimony for everybody else. Who else got a prize? Joy, what'd you get a prize for? Helping. What'd you help with?
Opening doors.
Opening doors. She'd stand outside the chapel, she'd stand outside the chow hall, wherever, and she'd open up doors and just to help staff. Tried to encourage wherever we could the kids being able to be a blessing. I know you got a prize. Tell me what it was for.
Helping my team leader remember things.
All right. Well, I remembered it a little different, but she said helping her team leader remember things. But she was an encouragement. I remember she was being a blessing, helping other kids, sharing her stuff, and even encouraging some of the other kids that might have got a little too rambunctious at times. You need to listen to the cabin leaders. It's okay. No. And they had a great time. Who else? One more. Who had a prize? You had a prize. Do you remember?
For vacuuming the chow
Why are you
hall.
backing away from the microphone? For what?
For vacuuming the chow hall.
That's right. See, they started picking up on this fact that the good qualities get rewarded, and they get recognized, and doing the nice things to bless others you get to feel good about it afterwards. And they started to have an opportunity where they were almost challenging each other and looking for different ways. And I know Mariah took it to a whole nother level because she turned around and grabbed a vacuum cleaner in the dining hall where all their staff take care of the mess. There was no requirement for any of us to clean up in that dining hall. And she went and found a vacuum cleaner and started vacuuming the entire dining hall for them before going out to play or doing the other activities. Your kids found ways to not only bless each other, but to bless the staff there. So much that they would love to keep that relationship. They want to see us back. They love having us there. They enjoyed it. All right. Miss Peggy, you had a testimony about your grandkids. Can I get you to share that real quick?
If I can do it without crying.
Okay.
I took 3 of my grandkids, and the oldest one is the son of my oldest boy. And my oldest son thinks God, he believes in God, he thinks Jesus was just a nice man that did good things. He's searching and doesn't realize it, so he's reading all kinds of weird stuff that he shouldn't even be into. So that he has an influence on my grandson. Took him to camp, and his heart is definitely softened. Gary flat out asked him if he would like to accept Jesus, and he said, "Not yet, but I'm thinking about it." So that was really cool. Took my granddaughter, who is a stepdaughter to my oldest son, and in the lunch line, the last day we were there, she turned around to me and she says, "Grandma, when we were singing at chapel, I got goosebumps." And I'm like, "You did? Was it cold? Were you cold?" And she says, "No, it was weird." I said, "Weird like good?" And she said, "Yeah." I said, "Jordan, that was Jesus." That was Jesus, honey. And she's like, "Oh, okay." Okay, good. And when I dropped the kids off, they didn't have Bibles, and so I let them borrow Cameron's. And when I dropped them off, I said, "I need your Bibles back because those are Uncle Cameron's." And they said, "Oh, can we keep them?" I'm like, yes. "No, you can't, but I will buy you some."
All right. Well, before we call it quits here, we had a couple of opportunities to work together as a team and around the campfire sing songs that they probably still have not been able to get out of their heads, no matter how hard they've tried to. So we're going to share them so it'll get stuck in your heads too. So, Miss Peggy, would you want to bring the ladies around and help the kids? You guys come around front. We're going to sing some campfire songs. So everybody on your feet? Because I think there's motions with some of them. All right. Louder. Grandma shark. Grandma ain't got no teeth. Okay, figure it out. We're still trying to figure out what that means. We don't really know. All right. You guys are... Get loud. Come on, get crazy. This is shark attack. All right, the shark was not... All right. We're going to have to require some more involvement from you guys on this next one, because this is the best one. The shark one is just to warm you up, but we want to make sure you get involved, because remember what happens after this? I brought treats for those that are doing a good job. Let me see. Let's go ahead and start it up. You can do it too. You should be right up front for this. Time. He died for me. Now it's inside of me. Knock, knock, rattle, 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 honk, beep, beep. Knock, knock, rattle, 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 honk, beep, beep. Knock, knock, rattle, 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 honk, beep, beep. Rattle, 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 honk, beep, beep. All right. All right. That was just a couple of the campfire songs that they got to have. It's really a lot better when they got a pickle in one hand and a thing of cotton candy in the other hand, and it just makes a s'more dripping off their face. It makes it that much more fun. So on that note, Miss Lori has some s'mores that she has already done up in a cup by the door. So as we get ready to release tonight, I want you guys to go ahead and grab some s'mores, and you guys can too. Does that sound good? All right. Awesome. You guys, do you remember the memory verse? All right, let's do it. Can you do it? Let's get it. This is the memory verse.
Habakkuk 1:5. Look at the nations and watch. Be utterly amazed. That you would not believe even if someone told you about it. Habakkuk 1:5.
Oh, good job. Except for that injury. Those bracelets must work like a magnet to that. Just bang. Head right on it. All right. Awesome. They had a great time. Their chapel time had a little pamphlet that they were able to go back and study with afterwards, and they got to be able to go through the pamphlet with them individually during their prayer time. So they were able to walk away with not only just having a blast, but getting to know more about God. And that was just an awesome example. Thank you, Chloe. Our teens, yes. Our teens did an awesome job. For those of you that don't know, for those of you that aren't aware, you don't have to be the perfect parent. You don't have to have the perfect grandparents, the perfect family. You can bring your kids to church, and you can bring them to children's ministry. And although we're not perfect in any way, God can work miracles through the people that serve. Our teens, our workers, work miracles in the lives of your kids. So if you're not bringing them, you need to bring them. You need to get them in here, because God can change the outcome of their life by getting them in here. Thank you for coming to camp night, camp reunion night. Thank you for supporting us. Thanks for praying for us. Thanks for being there for us. Thank you for volunteering, for going, for being all kinds of crazy fun, and for everything that you guys have done. Thank you. A big hand to these guys. Let's go get some s'mores.
God bless you all. Have a